are now plugged into Hooked on Science with Bruce and Tom.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Hooked on Sonics. I am one of your two hosts. I am Bruce, and over there is the one, the only T. Capone. I was going to try to get fancy. I just couldn't do it. So,
The
because I'm not
master of
as
disaster, the legend of legends, the champion of champions, the guy with bubblegum on his shoe. It's
that's right.
Tone the motherfucker Capone.
See, you should start doing the intros. Fuck it. I'm out.
You want your
Uh,
intro? I'll
yeah.
give you your intro. And ladies and gentlemen, over in the other corner we have Bruce the Bantamweight. Howdy.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't nearly as cool as yours. Fuck. I'll never be as cool as you.
You were cooler. Trust me.
Nah, I don't know.
Listen. What we discussed earlier just a second ago off the air,
Mm-hmm.
my ability to maintain my headspace and do the things that I do in my daily life makes me a cool dude. I'm lucky to be standing every day of my life. I'm cool with that though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with that said, man, we're going to have a freaking awesome show tonight, man. I think we're going to have a really, really good show. A couple good albums I think we got here. I mean, maybe yours was good, maybe yours was bad, maybe mine was good, maybe mine was bad. But Bruce, you want to tell them what we're reviewing tonight?
Absolutely. Thanks for that. We are going to be reviewing one of Brad Paisley's all-time classic albums, Time Well Wasted, and Guns N' Roses' much maligned Chinese Democracy. Also got a little bit of music news, and of course, downing some of our favorite beverages and telling you all about it. But before we get into that, Tone, how are you?
Good evening. I am with the crew this evening, man. I been a busy little bee lately, and I'm actually going to be firing up the smoker for the first time of the season tomorrow. And I know
Nice.
and I know it's not the season. I just it's the first time of the year, so you know, we're what, 1 month into the year, and I can't wait to fire up the smoker.
There you go.
It's gonna be 27 degrees tomorrow morning, dude, when I go out there to fire that thing up.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna be doing some pulled pork.
Nice. Nice.
Chinese democracy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to hearing this. I've had that one on hold for you for a minute because I was in a weird state of affairs with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you were in some bit of a weird state of affairs with it.
Absolutely. We'll definitely get
So
into it
yeah, we'll
as
definitely get
as
into that.
mm-hmm.
But what you been listening to aside from that, man? I know you've been
Well,
busy working all week.
no, yeah. So obviously by the time you guys see this, you've done realize that the show was delayed a little bit. That was mainly because of me. Down here in East Tennessee, we had a shit ton of busted pipes, and part of my job is to help take care of that. So um, just ran out of time. Um, couldn't record earlier when we normally do. So my apologies to everyone. So we're going to make it extra fun today.
We are recording this on a Friday evening,
Mm.
or this Friday evening, the second, February 2nd.
Woo!
We will try to have it uploaded. The goal is, I know I'm not going to get to it tonight, but I'll try to have it uploaded for Saturday and tune for you guys to get ready for what's coming on Tuesday. Do you foresee any issues for next Tuesday's recording?
As of now, no.
Okay, so
Everything's starting to wind down a little bit.
just to keep everybody in the clear on that, we do appreciate you guys staying tuned, all 12 of you viewers. Um, but
We
that,
love
yeah,
you.
we love all 12 of you. So with that being said, man, I want to hear, what really, I mean, you were in the truck a lot this week. You had to have been listening to some tunes. What you would listen to?
Oh, buddy. So I've been, because I'm gearing up for Black History Month, um, and similarly, ow, like we did last year, this time, I really want to focus my next album picks for you this year or this month, on some of my favorite Black artists, and so I just happen to go down a really cool blues rabbit hole. So I'm going to be giving you some blues stuff and some other little surprises throughout the month. So a lot of different blues, and I'll leave it at that for now because I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Okay. I apologize for any noise if you hear my dogs barking down there.
You cannot.
Okay. They may show up on the recording. I apologize. So you've been listening to a lot of blues.
Mm-hmm.
Nice,
And a lot of podcasts.
And a lot of podcasts, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Have you listened to that one podcast, Hooked on Sonics?
Those guys seem kind of weird to me.
I like them. They're kind of groovy. So with that being said, sir,
Yeah.
I have been listening to a ton of Heavy Temple.
Mm-hmm.
I just got some of their new stuff. Or no, I just picked up some stuff from them that I hadn't had. And I turned you on to that Parliament cover they did.
Yeah.
That Parliament
Yeah.
cover was freaking amazing. If you get the chance to hear that, go out and find the split. It's on YouTube of Heavy Temple doing the cover for Parliament Funkadelics Hit It and Quit It.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely phenomenal cover, dude.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I'm a huge, and I'm a big Parliament fan, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I listened to that, listened to some of the new Conan stuff that just dropped. I'm getting ready to buy that. And then who else was I listening to this week? Obviously the Brad Paisley album. And I went down some weird rabbit hole. Oh, Tiny Desk concerts, man. I went down this crazy rabbit hole of Tiny Desk concerts. The Scarface Tiny Desk concert, was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I watched some of that Taylor Swift one. I've heard it was really good. And it was. My buddy Omar, who did the recording for us in the beginning on the show here, he said the Taylor Swift one was really good. And I just, all right, screw it, I'll watch it. And it was really good. Some of those Tiny Desk concerts are absolutely amazing. And I saw somebody else too. Oh, the Action Bronson one was really good. I liked that one a lot. And I'm a big fan of Action Bronson. A lot of people, there's a fish place that used to be out here called Frank's Fish Market, and seafood restaurant or whatever. The seafood restaurant side of people are good friends of mine.
Okay.
But they own a place called Papito's out in Baltimore, Ohio now, where they do nothing but seafood. And when I come in at first, when I first met them, they thought I was Action Bronson.
That's funny.
Honest to God, dude. But they know me to be a chef. The chef there at Papito's Kitchen is absolutely amazing. The food there is some of the best seafood you're going to get cooked this side of. Do you remember Fisherman's Wharf?
Yeah.
He used to be one of the executive chefs for Fisherman's Wharf, from what I understand, if I can remember correctly.
Okay. Where was that at?
Oh man, I don't know. I never got to go. I knew people that went, but I never got to go, dude. I don't ever get to hit up any major seafood places unless I'm out of town. And I usually try to do that when I'm on the coast, because once you've had seafood off the coast and up in Maryland and, Boston and stuff like that, dude, you just kind of, everything else pales in comparison.
Yep, I agree.
Especially inland.
I agree.
So yeah, man, that's pretty much what's been going on my way. I've been you just looking forward to getting to shoot the show with you, man.
Yeah,
we drinking tonight.
I have gone back to a little old favorite of mine. And I believe I have you to thank for it. I'm actually drinking some in my Beyond Neptune flashy cup. By the way, guys, check those guys out. YouTube, all your streaming services, and their Facebook page. So great guys there.
You
big
can get their
supporters
music
of the
on
show.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. There you go. But I am drinking Tito's handmade vodka with lemonade.
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 That cool, refreshing drink.
Mm. Um.
Uno momento, sir. Please, may I have another?
Yeah.
What are we giving that drink concoction?
Yeah, I give it a 5. Tito's is a solid vodka. That is a fan favorite here at the house. Just great stuff, and that I just love it with lemonade. So
Yeah,
5 all day.
cool, man. Big Poppy is having out of the very nice cup that says Uncle Sippy Cup. So this evening, I am having Ezra Brooks Distillers Collection. This rings in at a whopping 107 proof.
Woo!
And is a very smoky char barrel flavor, something I
Yeah.
really like. And one of the flavor profiles I love in bourbon. This thing's got, I really can't show you this on camera. Maybe I can, maybe I can't, but this thing's got wonderful legs on it. And this thing is just one of my favorite sippers. I love to sip bourbon. I don't mind mixing bad bourbon, but this is what I would consider good bourbon. And this is easily one of my top 5 bourbons that I can get a hold of regularly. I do have to go out of town for it sometime, but give me a second here. Very little burn. Enough to let you know it's there.
Yeah.
Warms up a little bit on the back end. Falls into one of my top 5, so it's got to be a 5 banger all day.
There you go. Which
Ezra Brooks Distillers Collection.
Okay.
That's probably also a store pick.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely amazing. Cool.
Man.
I think the only thing I really saw as far as birthdays today that I can think of, that Shakira was obviously born in 77, I believe it was.
Okay.
We have some information regarding news over here at our friends at Blabbermouth. Give me 1 second while I take a look through here real quick. Stage used Black Sabbath maple mahogany drum setup is up for auction. I think that's very interesting. I wonder what that'll go for. And that looks like that's an awesome looking kit.
More than what we got.
Yeah. Give me a second here. Ace Fairley shares new music video for Walking on the Moon.
Yep.
Just looking at the screenshot picture of this, he looks like a Muppet.
Yes, he definitely looks like a Muppet.
He looks like a fucking Muppet, dude.
Yep. I will say this. I have been listening to that song. I got the sneak peek of the single a couple days ago. I enjoy this song. I enjoy this song a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot better than that 10,000. The 10,000 volts is first single off this upcoming album. So, the guitar work in this is a little more fresh, a little more original. He still has his acisms, but there's a couple little new tricks in this in this song. So I liked it.
Good. Well, I can't see anything else that really stands out as far as, because I just like to give you guys at least the concert info coming up, and I don't see anything other than Knock Loose to announce a spring 2024 North American tour, and then Body Count announces a July 2024 European tour. Richie Kotzen of Winery Dogs announced a spring summer 2024 European tour. If you guys get the chance, man, you really got to check him out. He is an amazing guitar player. And once again, we want to thank our friends from over there at blabbermouth.net for that little bit of info. And that's just general information. With that being said, I do believe we have some albums to review.
Absolutely. Hey, real quick before we get into it, Sid Vicious died on this day in 1979 from the Sex Pistols.
Brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, that was some
he
crazy
couldn't
stuff.
play bass for shit, dude. Dude, honest to God.
Yeah.
Honest to God, like uh, he was not a great musician. He was an image, and an image sold that sold well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they worked. It worked.
He was the definition of punk, dude. He was a
Yep.
punk, man, you know.
Yeah. Some albums that was released on this day. Leonard Skinner's "Give Me Back My Bullets," 1976. Iron Maiden's "Killers" was released today in 1981. And yeah, that's about it.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Who's first?
What do you want to do?
I can go first if you want.
Damn right you will. Go ahead.
All right. So I had Brad Paisley's Time Well Wasted. This album consisted of about 21 tracks. Of those 21 tracks, tracks 17 through 21 were outtakes, jokes, miscellaneous things. I really couldn't rate that stuff. It's just banter and stuff at that point. And then
yeah, it was some outtakes of the Buckaroos or whatever.
Yeah, and then there's I had to look into that and that whole Buckaroo thing, and apparently that was something that traversed across a few different albums, maybe a little story that was told after some of his work on his albums.
Yeah.
And pretty cool. I really liked the work that he did with Dolly Parton on some of the songs, or a couple songs on this album, including the thing with the her playing Miss Kitty and the one thing. So
yes.
I thought it was a lot of fun. Those things were a lot of fun, but I just want to forego that. Of real tracks, there was really about 7 or 15 tracks, 15 real tracks, and I'm just going to go down through it. We're just going to go down through it. So the first track starts off with "The World." I believe this was a single. It's a solid opener. I gave it an A. Okay. Keep in mind that country is not my favorite music. It is not my go-to. I am familiar with it. I am familiar with the art of country. I can even sing country if I wanted to, but at the end of the day, it's just not my go-to. Track number 2, "Alcohol." I gave this an A as well. I really like the tongue in cheek in this one. I wrote that off to the side. The tongue in cheek stuff in this one was really good. Number 3, this was remembering back, because I listened to this album on the day we were supposed to review it. Remembering back, this song kind of resonates with me from the album. "Waiting on a Woman," track 3. I gave this an A. This is a standout track. It's got a little tongue in cheek thing going on about it, but it's so like, I don't know any guy that hasn't felt that way, you know. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Track number 4, I gave this a B. "I'll Take You Back." I just, it's your average country thing, you know. "She's Everything," I gave that an A. That's a solid track too, man. "You Need a Man Around Here," very tongue in cheek. But not my favorite track on the album. I end up giving this one a B too, man. It's just an average country song to me.
Really?
You know? Yeah, dude. I could have given it a C, man.
But
Just because of the tongue in cheek, man, it got the B. You know what I mean? "Out in the Parking Lot." This was probably one of the worst tracks on the album for me. I gave that one a C. I didn't really care for it. Reminds me of just an average country song, man. Just this average stuff that country filler, man. It's what it felt like to me. And I'm not saying that to be funny. And I give everything a fair chance. "Raining You," I gave that a B. It's an okay song. Not the best song on the album, not the worst song on the album, but you know, it's okay. "Flowers," I gave a B, and I wrote beside that, "Been There." You know, I think we've all been there at some time with, you know, the whole flowers thing. And I get that. "Love Is Never Ending," once again, I give that one a B, man. This thing runs into a strong series of just, okay, that's good, mediocre, average tempo stuff to me. "The Uncloudy Day." Now I did get, you know, here we get back into, I gave that an A. I did like that one a lot.
yeah.
"When I Get Where I'm Going," I gave that an A plus, and I wrote beside that, Dolly killed it on that track.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that track would have as much impact of it on it as it does without Dolly Parton's vocals.
No, I agree.
I gave, and that was that was a standout track for me. That is an excellent track. I don't know how you can't not feel that. Easy Money, I gave that an A as well. Time Warp, I gave it an A. It's fun.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with it for an instrumental. It was fun. I didn't see anything. I couldn't ding it for anything. It's just an instrumental. It's a little jam, so it was fun. I digged it. Time Well Wasted, I gave that an A. Title track of the album.
Yeah.
Good title track, good track for the album. I think it's a very good album. But I want to say this. If this was an album and not a collaboration, according to what I saw, and I could be wrong, I don't think Time Well Wasted was a single. And I think they really missed an opportunity putting that out as a single.
Yeah.
That is an excellent. I could hear that. I could flip on the radio, hear that on a country station. Like, because when I get in the car and Kate's been driving, it's always country that comes on.
Right.
I could flip on the radio, that could be on. I go, I ain't mad at that. Shoot, I could dig that. I thought that was really good. Cornography, I gave it a B. That's that whole thing with the Pablo Busters or something like that. What are they? The
Kung Pao Buckaroos.
The Kung Pao Buckaroos or something, man. Just it's funny. It's I don't know that it was needed for a good solid album, but it's funny. And then once again we get through the outtakes, and that's 17 through 20. There's a joke in there. There's some banner back and forth. At the end of the day, man, I could have done without all that. I really could have. It was not, that stuff to me was not time well wasted. I could have done without that stuff completely, dude. And that's just being honest, man.
Yeah.
Overall, there's a lot of B's on this album. There's some A's on this album. And to me, as an overall feeling on the album, I just feel like it's an average country album. There's nothing that was absolutely great, nothing that I'm absolutely going to go back to. I'm not going to find myself wanting to go back to this. And I'm going to be honest, man, and this is going to hurt you, and I apologize ahead of time. Knowing that I'm going to go see this man in concert, I don't know that I'm excited about it.
Really?
Because this just is very, very.
Dude, you gave an A+. You gave like 2 A+s and multiple A's.
This is a very standard. That just because the song's good. Listen to me. Just because the song's good and I can't find a reason to ding it, I'm going to give it an A. There's nothing wrong with the song. It could be I could see, if I give it an A, I could see anybody getting into it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, once again, country's not my thing, man.
Right.
I can't say for me that this is a 9. It's not even close. I'm not going to listen to this album again, dude. I'm just not. Even though there's a couple great tracks on here. Let me tell you this. You remember the Wildflowers album you gave me?
Yeah.
All that stuff that's on that album, unless it was the hits, I don't listen to it. The only thing that stuck out from that album is the actual song Wildflowers. I was singing that from the last week. Just kind of, you belong among the wildflowers. And I've been doing that all week because it's a good song. I can get, it's an A, dude. You know what I mean? So with that being said, nothing here's sticking in my head, man. It doesn't mean it's a bad song. I'm not going to ding it if it's not sticking in my head. I'm not with it, man. And I can't say that this is a bad album. I can't say this is a great album. So I'm going to honestly give this album a 7.25.
Whew.
That
seems a little low.
I'm not going to listen to it again, dude.
I get it.
Listen, it did not get me on fire about wanting to go hear another. Let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about 15 real tracks, real music tracks. Of the 15, I've got 7 of them had B's and there's a C in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's far from an 8 for me, dude. I could ding this at 6.5. But I'm being generous because there is some good stuff here. It's just not for me. So I'm thinking about everybody else, and this is an average country album to me, dude. 7.25. That's what you get.
Wow, this is a multi-platinum album. It had at least 5 singles. A few of them went #1 for many weeks, so that's really shocking. Another thing I find is shocking is that you didn't like the fun songs like "You Need a Man Around Here," which is hysterical. And then um, "Pornography." I understand why you don't like "Pornography" because you don't understand who the Buckaroos
Do you
are.
know? Do you know what my big problem is with country?
Hmm.
Do you want to know the truth? Is what my problem is with country?
What?
This is not new ground. There's no groundbreaking shit on this album. Now listen, that's not to say I didn't do some research and understand that Mr. Paisley is a hell of a guitar player, from
Mm-hmm.
my understanding. And that I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to. And maybe when I see him live and see him do some of this stuff live, maybe then it'll grasp me. And sometimes that
Mm-hmm.
happens for me when I see a band live. Like I couldn't stand
Yeah.
Slipknot. I saw him live, got into him for a couple years. You know, every once in a while they cross my radar.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, this is just didn't do it for me, man. And I know that that's a tough ding for you, but it was a 7.25 for me, brother.
Gotcha. Um, just real quick for everyone at home, the Kung Pao Buckaroos are some of the country legends, Grand Ole Opry members, Little Jimmy Dickens, um, Whisper and Bill Anderson, and George Jones. So um, I love how Brad really tips his hat and pays respect and homage to all those old guys. And he was really good friends with little Jimmy Dickens um, till the day he died. So that was really I love that Brad embraces the past and includes them because he doesn't need to, didn't need to. So really cool to see that for me. I give this album myself a 9.5. There's a few songs I don't like on there. I really don't like Rain in You and Love is Never Ending. It was just so. But other than that, I love this album. This is probably my favorite Brad Paisley album.
Sorry we don't agree, man, but that's what this is about. We
Absolutely.
don't always see eye to eye on albums or even or close on the albums. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's because that's what makes us so great is that our musical choices vary greatly, you know,
Yep.
and vary so vastly.
Yep.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Sweet.
You're up.
There I am. So in honor of tonight, I busted out my Guns N' Roses hockey jersey just for such a special occasion. I have Guns N' Roses Chinese Democracy. This was released, I can't believe it's been this long, November 23rd, 2008. Um, man, that's like a lifetime ago. Um, do you remember where, do you remember when, all the false starts and all the rumor and innuendo about this album as it was,
I
as
do.
they were going through
I
this?
do. And it took many years to get this album done to where whoever
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Axel was happy with it. Because at the end of the day, Axel walked away with the name. And
Yep.
that's clear cut. All right. So if you're expecting on this album, oh look, I ran across this, you know, and you're not familiar with the situation, this is not the Guns N' Roses from any album before this
Yep.
album.
Yep. No, absolutely. I will say this, there are on a couple of tracks there's hints. There's hints of that Use Your Illusion era GNR.
Yes. Yes,
Hints.
there is some really like Catcher in the Rye, dude.
Yes.
Catcher in the Rye could have easily been on one of the Use Your Illusion albums.
Yep. No, absolutely. I remember the first single off this because this was such a um, huge news story because it was like waiting and waiting because they started working on this back in 97 or 98 with Slash and Duff and all of them. And then, they split up and there's a bunch of legal stuff. And then they recorded a whole album. That lineup recorded a whole album. Then they broke up. Then he got a few more guys. They recorded 50 songs. That was all scrapped. And then they recorded it again with all new people. Um, so and when it came out, everyone was so excited because they hadn't heard new GNR music
Right.
since new music since 92 or 91, whenever Use Your Illusions came out.
Right.
And the first single on this, I believe, was Shackler's Revenge. And what a horrible choice for a first single. Horrible.
Okay.
Shackler's Revenge is the second song, but I'm going to start with that. And it's so disjointed. The beginning, the beginning part of it's so disjointed. But when you get about a minute, 2 minutes in, the main riff is just fucking fantastic. And the guitar work, the guitar solos on this, they're not Slash, but they don't suck. These are amazing guitar players on this album. So let's see real quick. Robin Fink, Bumblefoot, Buckethead, Paul Tobias, Richard Fortus. Yeah, all these guys played guitar.
And they're all great players.
All of them.
Yeah. There's not a single slouch in that list.
No. And so the fact that Axl was able to bring so many talented people into that.
When you're the only person that runs that name as a band, and you decide the talent coming in and out, you get to do that, dude.
Yep.
Being part of the Nomads thing, nobody's off the table for me. Anytime I want to work with anybody, it's my choice.
Yep. So I remember just feeling so disappointed, like, because it didn't sound anything. You had all this anticipation for a new Guns N' Roses album, and then it sounds completely nothing like the Guns N' Roses that you loved. And so that really gave it a bad taste in my mouth and a lot of other people's. But this was a platinum selling album. This thing still sold a shit ton of copies.
Yeah, but
which shocked me.
But think about it. It sold because Guns N' Roses fans wanted to hear the album. They went right out and bought it.
Yep.
Of course it's going to sell. Do you think they could put another album out and repeat that kind of same shit? I don't think so right now. Everybody's more into the
singles.
The singles.
Yeah. And again,
classics.
Yeah, well, but think about it though. How people consume music is so different from 2008.
Yep.
So people were still buying albums. Right now, people are just buying singles.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously some people are buying albums, but
I mean, we buy albums.
Right. Because we're old and
we buy everything. If we like a band, we usually buy everything, the whole catalog, like fuck it.
Yep.
So
we'll do it live. Fuck it. So
man, come on, man. Let's get on with this album. Tell me what's going on.
Man. All right. Chinese Democracy is the first track. Again, starts off a little shaky for me, but then just kicks into high gear. I had to give this the song an A. Because again, once it kicks into gear, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And I'm going to tell people who end up listening to this album, get past that it's not Use Your Illusions.
Yeah.
You got to get past that.
And
And you
nothing's going to be Appetite.
Right. No. Oh, I'll tell you something else about that here after a bit. So, so Chinese Democracy, A. Shackler's Revenge. I'm gonna give it a B, but it's only because the fucking solo in this badass
Yes.
and that riff, the actual riff once it gets in there, fucking A, loved it. Better. That's one of the first. It starts off as a slow tempo song or slow tempo song. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. If I remember right, this song starts off with him kind of singing falsetto, and I didn't like that much. But once he got into his actual singing voice, really good.
Right.
I gave this an A. Street of Dreams. I think this is one of the ones I thought could possibly have fit on Use Your Illusion. Um, and I really like this song too. And as I was going through this, I was like, man, I can't believe I'm really enjoying this album. And then I started thinking, like, okay, why didn't I want this? And it was because it wasn't the other guys. So shame on me so far in this album. So Street of Dreams got an A. If the World, again, it was a shaky start, some weird falsetto stuff. But once it kicked in, it was really good. I gave this one an A. There was a time I don't. I just listened to this again on my way home. Um, I don't remember it off the top of my head, so I'm gonna have to. It was. I think it was a B. I just don't remember it.
Write it down when you do it, man. I write all mine down.
I was driving.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Next up is Catcher in the Rye. Again, could have been A, this should have been a single, and B, this really could have fit on Use Your Illusion.
Yeah.
This is a really good song.
I liked it. Honestly, it was one of my favorite tracks on the album. That's why I mentioned it. It's one of the only ones I remember.
Yeah.
Better. I liked Better too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. So Catcher in the Rye got an A for me. Next up is Scraped. I didn't like this song at all. I gave it a D.
Yeah.
It just. Same with Riot and the Bedouins. D. I hated this song. Couldn't give it an F, but it was not good.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, well, this is kind of
a dead spot in the album.
Dead spot in the album. And then they come right back to probably the best song on this album. And again, they missed the boat on this. And Tony, you mentioned this earlier off air. Sorry. Sorry should have absolutely been a fucking single. It probably should have been the leadoff single.
Amazing song, dude.
Amazing.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because it is absolutely my favorite Guns N' Roses song. And it's not all of the original members of Guns N' Roses.
Right.
It's just amazing. It's an amazing track, dude.
It's a beautiful song. It is really well written. Some powerful lyrics in there, and damn, yeah, A+ all day, all day on this. Next up,
that song alone
mm-hmm.
is a reason to listen to this album.
No, absolutely. Next is IRS. This took a couple listens for me to really like it. I ended up giving it an A. It was like a B- for a while, but then I'm like, I really dig this.
Yeah.
Like I kept listening to it. I'm like,
there are parts of the album that it does grow on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've gone back and had to listen to it a few times and I go, you know what? Okay, I'm cool with that.
Yep.
Not really, it's not really Slash's tone, but I know these things and it's still good stuff, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. One of the kind of drawbacks on this album for me was some of the drum machine shit that was kind of prevalent in, that hard rock music back back in the early 2000s, early mid 2000s. That was kind of a turnoff for me. Like, I want actual drums. But I get it with, with time behind us. I get why it's there, and it doesn't bug me as much. I wish it wasn't there, but whatever, you know. See, Madagascar. That's another one that kind of grew on me. Um, really interesting guitar work. All
I,
through this,
I
song.
remember that track standing out to me,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
it didn't grow on me. I was cool with it off the rip.
Yeah. I think I gave it a B. Lyrically, it wasn't great. It was kind of jumbled a little bit, I think. But musically, it was solid, solid,
Yeah.
solid, solid. This I love. I was surprised that really enjoyed this as much as I did. I gave that an A as well. Um,
Nice.
and then the last song was Prostitute. I didn't care it. I didn't like it.
Not a good closer, man.
No,
I didn't think it was a good closer either.
nope.
You know, but you know
I,
what? When I think about going back to like some of the Guns N' Roses albums, what were good closing tracks? Mr. Brownstone a closing track?
no, the
Night
closing,
Train
no, the closing track on Use Your Illusion was Rocket Queen.
on Use Your Illusion.
I'm sorry, not you. Appetite for Destruction.
Okay, and Rocket
Okay.
Queen's a great song,
Yeah.
controversial as it is.
Oh, of course. And then the closing track on Lies was One in a Million, controversial track. Uh, Closing track on Use Your Illusion 1, Coma, which that's a really interesting song.
Yeah,
It's like a 8 or 12 minute song, and that's really interesting. And Use Your Illusion 2, the last track on that album was My World, and that kind of falls into this. It's like it's a dumb closer. It's dumb. It's not good. It's a
cool.
filler. It's a filler track that they just kind of shit all over it. And then I don't
Yeah,
remember anything off the Spaghetti Incident other than like Hair of the Dog and Sympathy for the Devil.
they also did a Misfits cover, Attitude, on that.
Oh yeah, I did like Attitude.
Yeah,
Duff sang that song. That's
yeah,
right.
they did a good job on that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So finally, I'm just gonna say, all in all, I feel bad that I slept on this album all these years, and I didn't give it a chance. But it's kind of their fault because the first single that they put out there was trash. Um, but I think any Guns N' Roses fan should really check this out. And I think if you give it a few listens, you'll really appreciate. Um,
What Axel has helped create here, because
absolutely.
that's what you got to call it.
Yeah.
This is what Axel helped create.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He had a vision, he
Yep.
executed the vision, and it sounds like it took a long time to get to that vision complete, but it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, I'm actually, man, I'm gonna give this album I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
I think
It
it's
was almost a 9.
it was an 8. It was an 8 for me.
Yeah.
We aren't far off on that. It
Yeah.
was an 8. It was an 8 for me.
I mean, again, sometimes there are some albums that we review because I listened to them a few times. I just dread listening to it again. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Okay. I really enjoyed re-listening to this thing a few times. Really did.
Cool.
It didn't suck.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
8.5. I'm glad you liked it, man. I'm glad you found my track.
Yeah, man.
So, sorry is an amazing track, dude. Just the vocal work on that, the guitar nuances and everything was just amazing, dude. Amazing. And fucking Sebastian Bach on fucking vocals on there too, dude. Get out of here. You can't go wrong, son. Anyways, with that being said,
yeah,
those were some pretty cool albums.
yeah,
Nothing majorly bad. And, we didn't bomb the album to either album, but at the end of the day, couple good albums. You get the chance, check them out. Remember, if you like what you see here, like, comment, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Talk about something you would like us to review. We'll dedicate time to it. We'll make sure it gets done. You'll get our honest review, and you'll get both of our reviews on it instead of just one. Other than that, I do want to say, I think we're kicking off Black History Month, right?
We are.
And I am ready. Dude, I'm dying to give you my album.
Awesome.
I'm dying to give you my album. I'm dying. I'm so dying inside to give you my album. So are you ready for my album for next week?
Please, because I don't want to do CPR.
After watching fucking Scarface's Tiny Desk concert this week, I was just like, dude, I got to give it to him. This is one of my top 5 rap albums of all time. You're getting Scarface, The Diary.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, sir. I remember when Scarface was kind of start getting popular in high school. By that time, I'd kind of
dude, I've been listening. I've been listening to him since the beginning days of the Ghetto Boys, dude. Some of the first hip hop, rap, gangster rap I ever listened to. I heard Ghetto Boys before I heard NWA, dude.
Really?
That's a fact.
That's really interesting.
Do you know one of the reasons to this day I still crack open a 40 of Old English is because of those days listening to the Ghetto Boys at about fucking 15 years old, dude.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, I'm ready for mine. What do you got?
All right, man. So I found something. Sometimes I go into a record store and I'm not looking for anything in particular.
Okay.
Just whatever happens. And I found something really cool and unique that I've never even heard of or seen out in the wild. So this was really interesting. And it is, look at that cool cover.
The London Howlin' Sessions.
Yep.
Is that the name of the album, the London Howlin' Sessions?
The London Howlin' Wolf Sessions.
Is this a Howlin' Wolf album?
Yes. And wait till I tell you who's also on this album.
Who's on the album?
Eric Clapton.
Get the fuck out of here.
Steve Winwood.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bill Wyman, bassist for the Stones.
Nice.
And Charlie Watts.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, sir.
And they're jamming with Howlin' Wolf?
Yep.
The London Howlin' Wolf Sessions.
Yep.
Man, that's good, dude. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, man.
I bet this is some good stuff.
Yeah, and then the artwork there is, just some cartoons of the actual guys. So
I love it. I love it. Dude. I'm looking forward to it, man. And this is on the tube?
Yes, it is on the tube.
How many tracks?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.
All right, I can live with that. This 16 to 32 track stuff you've been giving me has got to quit. It's got to quit, sir. Because if you keep doing this to me, dude, I'm going to burn you. And I'm going to burn you real good. And you're going to have to review the album. And then you're going to be very upset because Tony gave you a fucking album you didn't want to review. All right? So with that being said, folks, it has been a lot of fun. We will look forward to seeing you next week when I review the London Howlin' Wolf Sessions. And Bruce there gets to review the Scarface, The Diary album. So we will look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bruce, anything else you want to say?
We love you all. Thanks for being with us, and tell a friend.
Yeah, share what's going on here, man. Get them involved. See if they got albums they want us to review. But we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. We will see you guys Tuesday according to plan. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, Bruce, see ya.
See ya.